welcome to another edition of Press Coverage. Tim McManus and Josh Paunil. So the two biggest complaints so far was the wind from the outside and the height disparity. So we took care of the wind by moving indoors. I can't do anything about how short I am, but at least now we're sitting in chairs so you can't notice as much. So
we'll even out.
Yeah, exactly right. But we have some predictions to get to for this upcoming game against the Jets. But first, let's talk about Chip Kelly. He wears a couple different hats now as the general manager and as the head coach. It hasn't exactly gone well to start out this season. Who do you pin it more on, or what are you looking at more, the personnel side or the coaching side right now with Chip Kelly?
I would say the coaching side because they have the talent. I mean, offensive line, that was one of the question marks going in with Barber and Gardner. But it's Jason Kelsey, Jason Peters. Those guys are struggling. And so that's not, a GM personnel problem in my mind. That's just the coaching. He needs to get them in the right situations, whether it's calling more diverse amount of plays or just mixing it up so the defense isn't as predictable as you wrote about today. So to me, it's the coaching side and not the personnel side.
Okay, well, I think you can make a case for the personnel side as well, because you did make the decision to part with Evan Mathis and Todd Hermans. Now, Hermans, I think, is on kind of the back end of his career. Maybe you can even make the case that Mathis is, but the people that they have brought in so far have not produced to fill those spots. And there was question marks about that, so it's not like this is looking back in hindsight and making the corrections. I mean, people had these types of questions going in. The quarterback obviously was the major gamble, and at least so far, Bradford hasn't panned. I mean, it's so early, but so far he hasn't been exactly what everybody was hoping he would be or what he was in Green Bay. So I think the personnel side, and Byron Maxwell hasn't done very well either as of yet, but it is early, right? But it's getting late quick. So let's talk about this upcoming game in New York. It's turned into a pretty critical one. How do you see it playing out?
I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I just can't see this Eagles offense getting going against the Jets defense. Darrell Revis, but not just him. They have talent all across the secondary. Their front seven with Muhammad Wilkerson is going to be tough to run on. And they've struggled with stunts and slants in the first two games, and the Jets have seen that. And Todd Bowles brings a lot of different pressures. He's going to really mix up the packages. The Eagles aren't going to be able to tell a lot of times what's coming, and they're really going to have to stay on top of their game to be aware, not just be aware of it, but communicate. And that seems like one of the issues so far is the chemistry on the offensive line, the communication. That's really going to be tested this Sunday.
And then DeMarco Murray leaves practice early with a hamstring. That's not particularly good. Yeah, but I am going to ride with the Eagles in this one. Obviously, when you're looking at personnel and the way it's gone so far, you would have to lean towards Jets, but football is also a psychology sport. And the psychology right now is most certainly on the Eagles side in that they're in a desperation situation. The Jets can afford to lose this game. The Eagles really cannot. So while I can't give you all these great X and O reasons why I think that the Eagles are going to win this game, I'm still going to pull for them from the psychology point of view. So I'll wrap it up for this edition of Press Coverage. On behalf of Josh, I'm Tim, and we'll see you next time right here on Birds 24/7.